Hello and welcome back. Let's get going with Feng Shui tip number 3, how to take command of your workspace. Ready? Let's do this. Where you sit really matters. The position of your work space, your work table, and your work chair really matters. Why? Because that determines the power of your position in the workspace. In any space, there are weak positions and stronger ones. I'm sure you're familiar with the sensation of sitting in a restaurant with your back to the main door of that restaurant. How do you feel? There's a feeling of vulnerability and a little bit of danger associated with sitting with your back to the door. Instinctively, we all know that it's a vulnerable position. So you don't want to feel vulnerable in your workspace, office, or anywhere in your home for that matter. You want in your workspace to feel powerful, energized, confident. So that starts with being in the command position. And the command position is really quite simple. It is the location in any particular room where you are facing the door, the main door, preferably all the doors if there are multiple doors. You're not in direct line with the door. So you're not you're not directly in line with the incoming chi. You are off center with the chi that's coming in through that main door. And that you have a wide view of the chi. Oh, come on, Wendy. Let's stop again. Escape. Okay. Starting over. Welcome back. Let's proceed with Feng Shui tip number 3, how to take command of your workspace. Ready? Let's do this. Where you sit really matters. The position of your work surface and your work chair really matters. Why? Because that determines your power in your work environment, your personal power. In any space, there are weaker positions and stronger positions. I am sure you're familiar with the sensation of sitting in a restaurant with your back to the main entrance to the restaurant. How do you feel? There's an element of vulnerability and a little bit of danger associated with sitting with your back to any door. Now, obviously, in our workspace, we don't want to feel vulnerable and insecure. We want to feel powerful and energized and confident. That actually applies to any of the major areas where you spend time in your home. And it all starts with being in the command position. So how do we determine the command position? The command position is when you are facing the door, but not in direct line with it. And when you have a wide commanding view of the entire room. Simple as that. You can see everything that's coming through the door, and you're not in line with the incoming chi, which is a vulnerable position. That is your power position. And you should seek your power position in every room where you spend a lot of time. Now let's consider doors. Doors have an impact on our power position in the room. In addition to considering the command position, we also need to be aware of the doors around us in other ways. You don't want a door right behind you if you can at all avoid it. You don't want your desk to be located behind the swing of the door. So if the door opens to the right, you don't want your desk to be over here. You're hidden by the door. And you don't want to have a doorway cutting across your desk. And you certainly don't want a doorway crowding you at your desk. Got it? Those are going to be important when you look at these images. Which desk is in the best command position? Take a moment and let me know. If you came up with number 3, you're correct. Now, some people also suggest number 5 and number 6, and they're almost correct. But let me go through all of these options. Number 1, back to the door, not command position. Do you feel it? That's like being in the restaurant with your back to the door. Number 2, facing the wall, and it's not behind the swing of the door, but the door opens right onto the desk. It's crowding the desk. Number 3, perfect. Facing the door, out of line with the chi entering the door, can see the entire room. Now, in number three, the desk could also be along the right side wall. The gentleman or the person at the desk can have their back against that right side wall. That would be fine too, once they're not in line with the door. In number 4, the door is cutting onto the desk and cutting the energy of the person. In number 5, that person is in command, but the person's back is backing the corner. And there's an analogy about having your back being backed into a corner, and it's not a positive one. The same applies in your workstation. If because of your personal situation, you have no other choice, then talk to me so we can come up with ways in which to give your back proper support. And number 6, in command, but those beams, and we talk about them shortly. What's around you matters. What's around you matters a lot. So we have to consider what's in front of you, what's to each side, and what's overhead. What's in front of you? What are you looking at? Do you sit facing a wall? That represents blocked energy, no vision, no ability to dream, it will give you the feeling that you can't go the distance because you are blocked. That's not a positive metaphor. How about showers? Are you looking at that picture that's hanging crooked on the frame? Is it a dirty wall? Are you looking at a pile of dirty laundry? What are you looking at? How does it affect your personal chi? What about the toilet door? Are you looking at the toilet door? That's not a good message. Now, obviously, a window would be great. A garden view would be great. You get extended visibility. A good metaphor for increased vision. Is there something in front of you, and it's not a window, that is beautiful, appealing, attractive, and makes you feel relaxed? In Feng Shui, we have something called the red phoenix, which we're going to talk about soon, which really refers to the space in front of your workstation. Space in front of your workstation allows the chi to gather and bring you all its blessings, allows visitors to come and share their wisdom with you or receive your services and bring you lots and lots of reward. So that's a good thing. So what's in front of you? What's to each side? What is to each side? Is there a blank wall on either side, on one side, on both sides? Do you have a doorway on one side? Is it the toilet door? Are there any showers? Is your desk blocked? Can you get in and out around your desk easily? Because none of those are good metaphors. So we'd want to adjust that. What's overhead? Do you have low ceilings pressing down on you? How about those overhead beams? There's a feeling of pressure, headache time. Do you have large ceiling fixtures or a horizontal fan going chop, 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 which represents chopping energy? Not a good metaphor. Do you have this big, huge chandelier over you, heavy, pressing, feeling dangerous? It may fall at any time. That's the subconscious message. We don't want to have anything over your head that's going to affect your personal chi. Look around your workspace and see how it scores. You have completed module 3. If you have questions, feel free to get in touch with me. We can either email or you can book that coffee chat. I would love to hear from you. See you in module 4 for tip number 4. Bye for now.